So ICE did a raid at the South Shore neighborhood, and a lot of people are shocked about this particular raid because this is a community where a lot of black people are at. Now, ICE claimed they was going to do a raid because of the Venezuelan gang, Tren Agua. They said they had members out there. But I want you to watch and listen to what the people said, how they were acting.
It's some citizens that stay in that building too. It's citizens, regular citizens that stay in that building. Why y'all just raiding everybody's house? Yeah, I said, why y'all just didn't go to their house? Why y'all raiding everybody's house? That's violation of the citizens' rights, that it actually live there.
I don't know nothing about the rights.
You thought I was giving intel? I'm giving you intel. Intel into the right flow. It's citizens' rights, right? As a U.S. citizen, we have rights, right? And y'all just raiding their houses trying to get to the immigrants. That's not right. That's not fair. Y'all disturbing the peace. And it's 1 a.m. It's kids that stay in that building. Y'all flashbanging. Y'all not being considerate.
When they trying to get somebody,
she thought I was giving some intel. I got some intel for you, Bookie, but what you're doing is illegal. If it wasn't like that, why y'all not showing y'all faces? Man, and he just had a newborn. That little boy only 12 years old. They got the babies outside. That little boy only 12 years old. They got the babies outside. Get your ugly ass out my view. Y'all immigrants too. I don't see nobody trying to take y'all back to Europe.
It's overnight, and she says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher said she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me did I have any warrants, and I told them no, I didn't.
She says she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher says she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out for them, even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Citizen-App video shows the chaotic scene overnight as budget trucks and military-style vans were used to separate parents from their children. Other neighbors say they saw agents destroying property to get in the building.
And they had a big 15-inch chainsaw with a round blade on it, cutting this fence down. We're under siege. We're being invaded by our own military.
The FBI did confirm this morning that they did help the U.S. Border Patrol carry out a targeted immigration enforcement operation in this area, and they say they have been supporting these efforts at the direction of the U.S. Attorney General.
All right, so the people in Chicago say they're feeling under siege with all this situation that's going on with ICE. Now, I'm seeing the tactics. I'm seeing how they're moving. They're being very aggressive, and it's like I see it coming. What's going to end up happening, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm completely wrong on what I'm about to say. What's going to end up possibly happening, one of these aggressive ICE agents or one of the federal agents is going to harm somebody and take their life. And it's going to be a bad situation, and who they do, it may be a child, it can be somebody, right? And that they're going to do it at the right time. And that is what's going to spark off people. Because let me tell you the environment that they're doing this in. A lot of layoffs are happening to people. Mass firings are happening to people. People are worried about if I'm going to be homeless, can I afford groceries? And when you start getting people in that kind of position, where they are desperate. And when they get to a point, I feel like I have nothing to lose, and they're not even worried about no jail or any of that at that point, right? And for sure they're not worried about no ICE agents or whoever else they're worried about. They're going to have a problem. And I've always said this, and it's the truth. It's a numbers game in America. There's more people than them at the end of the day. It's more people. I heard they're starting to do this mess in New York. New York is, I think, the wrong city to really be pushing people, because New Yorkers on a good day be down with it, the business. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to put people in that kind of position, because the way people are feeling right now, if something happens, I believe it's going to be worse than George Floyd, and more people are going to be a part of it than just black people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying what I'm seeing happening. You could only push people so far before people say, okay, all right, but it's going to take the life of somebody being lost. That's usually how it goes. And because they're being way too aggressive. There's no need to be that aggressive. You understand what I'm saying? Now, some people will say, oh, well, see, that's why we were saying to vote for Kamala and this and that and the third. Well, let's call it what it is. The people that's, I think, more affected by all this than us would be the Latino community. And they didn't go vote for Kamala like that. I take a big issue with anyone telling anybody black about it was our responsibility to put her in office. No, it was more the Latino community responsibility to put her in office, because they had way more to lose with Trump getting in office, especially when he promised he was going to be doing this mess. And they still went out and voted for him. Doing all that dance and talking about, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump and all that. You know what I'm saying? All of them should have voted for Kamala Harris. Don't any of you do not let none of these Democrat shields or anybody say, well, you didn't vote for her, or you sat it out, or you did whatever the case may be. Okay, but black folks that did vote, they voted majority Kamala, whether a black male or black female. But the Latino community, who had a lot riding on that election, is the one that should have voted for her 100%. And if they would have voted for her 100%, she'd be the president right now, and they wouldn't be dealing with some of these issues. Of course, we catch it. Listen, let me tell you another reason why they're being so aggressive. Crime is down nationwide. Even in Chicago, crime is down. And when crime is down, prisons don't get full. Prisons is a business, is a $1 billion business in the United States of America. In order for that business to keep running, you got to keep putting people in there. It's not good for business if crime is down. It's not good. Now, these people, and you know what people I'm talking about, are wicked on top of wicked for what they do. They're living up here trying to criminalize people in the mix of this immigration stuff they're doing, because they want to funnel more people into prison. But this the thing with that. This particular dispensation of time, a lot of people gonna get a wake-up call. Even though black people, we're gonna deal with issues, but we're gonna come out on top in the end. And I guess more so the Latino community than black people, from what I'm seeing, they ready for the midterms, from what I'm hearing. And a lot of them want to go vote against the Republicans, which if I was a Latino, I would. I'm just saying, if I was a Latino, I would. Because at least the Democrats, they don't try to get me out like that, right? And that's what Trump is afraid of, because Trump, don't let the Trump and Republicans fool you. They are very afraid about the midterms. They're very afraid. Why you think he called Texas and say, hey, get me 5 seats? Why you think he did that? He did that because he knows that the Republicans going to get washed in the midterms. But historically speaking, that always happens. Whatever party is in the White House, usually the opposite party comes into power around the midterms. But the way he's moving in these major cities, I don't really see a whole lot of people voting Republican. I don't. I don't really see a whole lot of black people doing it, and I surely don't see a whole lot of Hispanics doing it. Not right now. Now, of course, your upper income black folks are probably still vote Republican because they're like, you know what I'm saying? That's probably what they're thinking. But some of them may switch to vote or maybe the other side too, Democrat. Not because they like the Democrats, but they say, yeah, we got to rein him in. That's what's going to be some of that. Because you know, if you look at the people he got around him, pay attention to them more so than him. He got a lot of characters around him that's hardcore white supremacists this time around. Listen, when he had Steve Bannon around and all of them, he was a little bit more chill. But Steve Bannon's not around. I know Stephen Miller was there and all that. Because Steve Bannon was around for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Even though he has an agenda too, but things are a little bit more for him. But this time, he's more chaotic. And I knew he was going to be a little bit more chaotic because they tried to put him in jail, try to take his life and all that stuff. So you already knew mentally he wasn't going to be the same. But let's see what happens on the midterms. Let's see what happens. Because maybe the Hispanic community this time, they won't go out there and tell me they're going to vote for Donald Trump or the Republicans. It's just that simple. Now, some of them say, see, black people, we told you were next. Okay, you said we were next to get deported. That's what you said. Those black people that they went in that neighborhood did not get deported. I want to make sure to say that because they saying that now. So we told you were next, you were next, you were next. No. You said we was next to get deported. We're not getting deported. Listen, we dealt with this before, not with ICE, but we dealt with this same thing before. It was during the crack epidemic after the three strikes law, the crime bill. They were doing the exact same thing to black people in our neighborhoods. This is nothing but a remix. I know what I'm telling you. And we survived it, and we'll survive this too. Because we are survivors, and we are people that will thrive in the middle of chaos. So no, they can't mass deport black Americans. It's too many of us to mass deport. They can't mass deport all y'all that who are illegal in the Latino community or Africans or whoever else. They can't deport all y'all. They can only get so many of y'all. They trying to scare you to the point where you'll self-deport because more you self-deport is easier than them going and get you. But no, we're not next to be deported. We're not next. And we were never off the menu, okay? We always been on the menu for us to be targeted. So you're not telling, I mean, listen, this is a country that we've been dealing with. We know this place. We know it. So none of you are telling us nothing that we don't know or have not experienced in this place. But I hope nothing happens. I really hope nothing happens. Because, boy, if something do, it's we set off with the people because too many people are losing too many things. And when people are like, I have nothing to lose, I don't have no job no more, I can't get a DoorDash job, you know, all the DACA people or, you know, now they not gonna be able to drive the CDLs and all kind of things are happening. Boy, like they need to tone down the aggression because they just need to tone that down because way too many people are suffering in this country and it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary suffering. I'll say that much. And well, let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see.